Call the meeting to order of the Fargo Planning Commission. Start with approve the order of agenda.
I'll make a
So moved.
motion. Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. I have a couple of announcements on the agenda. First, that our September meeting of the Planning Commission won't be on Tuesday due to the holiday. Will be rescheduled to Thursday, September 9th. And then on the agenda, the following items will be continued to the September 9th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. Item number 1, the proposed Dakota Air Parts Edition subdivision located at 2505 39th and a half Street North. And item number 2, the proposed conditional use permit to allow residential living in the GC General Commercial Zoning District located at 5652 36th Avenue South. So there will be no presentations on those two items by staff, and there's going to be no action taken by the commission today. So is there anybody here to testify on these items that would like to give their testimony now? I'd be okay with that. If not, we'll take them on September 9th. Seeing nobody here to speak on that, we'll move on the agenda. And also one other update, there'll be no brown bag held in August as well. Okay, all right, back to item B, the minutes of the regular meeting of July 6th. Has everybody had a chance to review those?
I move to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. I don't remember if minutes are roll call or if we just approve them. Just approve them?
Just a vote, just.
Thanks. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Same sign. Motion passes. Again, no brown bag this month for item C. And item D, public hearings. Item number 1 and number 2 are continued to September 9th. And on to item 3, hearing on application requesting a plat of the First Community Edition, a minor subdivision, a replat of lots 1, 2, Block 1, Western State Bank Edition to the city of Fargo, Cass County, North Dakota, located at 5201 42nd Street South and 4211 53rd Avenue South. And Kylie's here. I'll turn it over to you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Item number 3 is titled First Community Edition. The applicant, Andy Westby, is seeking approval of a minor subdivision located at 5201 42nd Street South and 4211 53rd Avenue South. The request is to plat the existing 2-lot minor subdivision into a 2-lot minor subdivision. The adjustment of the 2 lots will allow for all of the parking that is currently on site to be on the same lot as the financial institution. So as you can see in this aerial, there's just a little bit of the parking lot for the bank that's on the other lot. So they're just correcting the plat to get all of their parking on one lot. And then here's images of the bank as it sits today. Staff has not received any inquiries regarding this item. Based on the subdivision criteria of the LDC, staff is recommending approval. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Thanks, Kylie. Any questions for Kylie? Seeing none, is the applicant here and wishes to speak?
I do not believe the applicant is here today.
Applicant's not here. We'll open the public hearing and ask the audience. Does anybody from the audience wish to speak on this item, either in favor or against? Anybody want to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Commission, what are your wishes?
I move to approve with the motion and staff report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we'll take the roll.
Stoffren,
Aye.
Rosenberg,
Aye.
Holtz. Aye. Gunkelman,
Aye.
Tassa.
Aye.
Morgan,
Aye.
Schneider.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 4, and we'll ask Donald to come to the podium here for 4A, B, and C, a hearing on application requesting a zoning change from limited commercial with a conditional overlay to limited commercial with a conditional overlay and multi-dwelling residential within the boundaries of the proposed Amber Valley West 6th Edition.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Donald Kress of the Department of Planning and Development. Items 4A, B, and C, as the chairman has stated, is Amber Valley West 6th Edition. This is located along Veterans Boulevard and 26th Avenue South. This is the Galleria Shopping Center. Many of you probably been there for the various restaurants and shops that are there. There are 2 lots involved with this, and you'll see there are these private drives. They figure into the plat as well. The current zoning is LC, limited commercial. In the proposed zoning, the Lot 1 here, the shopping center, will remain LC with the conditional overlay on it. And the new lot, which will be Lot 2, will be zoned MR3, multi-dwelling residential. Commissioners, will draw your attention to the fact here that following some comments by Commissioner Schneider, we didn't quite integrate the West Fargo zoning layers into our maps yet, but we did check out their zoning map and noted what the zoning is across the street in West Fargo. So you have that information as well. This is some photographs of the site here. This is the existing Galleria Shopping Center here, which will be Lot 1. And then here are a couple of views of Lot 2. This is the My Place Hotel. That's not part of the plat. So you'll see the plat here is Lot 1 and Lot 2. Lot 1 actually combines 2 existing lots. We'll talk about those private drives for a moment. When this project was platted several years ago, in a way that we probably wouldn't do it anymore, the private drives were all attached to one lot, and that this is the lot that is proposed to be developed. So the replat really just attaches those private drives to the other lot so that this lot is free of them. These are not public right-of-way, so this is not a vacation of public right-of-way. It's just a rearrangement of these. You won't notice any different on the ground, but that's the major part that this plat does, as well as combine the 2 existing lots here into a single lot. Also involved in this plat and zone change is a proposed a CUP for reduced parking. This is that's summarized in your staff report there, and additionally, you received an email today, or we sent an email today, that included the traffic study, just for your reference. The traffic study supporting the request for reduced parking has been reviewed by city staff, including our traffic engineer, Jeremy Gordon, and he believes that the documentation supports the request. This is a concept site plan from the developer, Joe Moosberger, who is with us this afternoon. He's planning to build a 62 years and older senior residence on the site. So again, the MR3 zoning will allow this to be a fully residential. This is not a mixed-use building, it's fully residential. So the MR3 would be the appropriate zoning for such a project. Just a concept site plan here for your information. You're not approving the site plan here, but it does support the request for the reduced parking. It's about a 25% reduction, which is originally under the LDC, the Land Development Code, you'd have 117 parking spaces. The number of proposed spaces is 88, so it's a reduction of 25%. In looking back at some recent parking reductions that your commission has granted, this is actually a little less than other people have requested, so this seems reasonable for this location. Again, the developer of this property, Joe Moosberger, is with us this afternoon, as well as Chris Mack from Christensen Companies, who did the platting, and Andrew Thill, who is the civil engineer for this project. The recommended motion is stated in your staff report and shown on the screen. The conditions of approval for the CUP are listed. Commissioners, just note, as always, that your recommendation for the plat and zone change goes forward to the City Commission. The conditional use permit, you are the final decision maker on that, and anyone wishing to appeal that conditional use permit must file an appeal within 10 days of the date of decision, which would be today. That concludes staff's presentation. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Any questions for Donald? Seeing no questions, invite the applicant to speak if they wish. You state your name for the record, please.
Yes, Commissioners, thanks for having me today. My name is Joe Moosberger, and our company is called Real Estate Equities Development. We're based out of Eagan, Minnesota, and we primarily focus on senior cooperative housing. And we've done about 45 of these developments in 8 different states. And we're really excited to have the opportunity in Fargo. We've launched marketing a while back, and we already have 29 people who have made reservations. There's a lot of excitement about this project. And we just think it's a great option for senior living. So, and I'm available to take any questions if you have anything.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody from the audience here wish to speak in favor or against? Anybody here to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Commission, what's your wishes?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we'll take the roll.
Tassa. Aye. Gunkelman.
Aye.
Stoffren.
Aye.
Foltz.
Aye.
Rosenberg.
Aye.
Morgan.
Aye.
Schneider.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Moving on to item number 5, we'll welcome Adam to the stage. Thanks for being with us, Adam. Number 5 is a hearing on an application requesting a zoning change from multi-dwelling residential to limited commercial on Lot 2, Block 1 of Asleson Farms, 4th edition.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Item 5 on the agenda is titled Asleson Farms 4th Edition, as Rocky just mentioned, and is located at 3523 41st Street South. The applicant, Nick Dietrich, who is with us today, is requesting a zoning change from MR2, multi-dwelling residential, to LC, limited commercial, for the property described as Lot 2, Block 1, Asleson Farms 4th Edition. The site is currently vacant, as you can see in these images on the screen. Section 20-0906F of the LDC stipulates that 4 criteria be met before a zone change can be approved. Staff found all 4 criteria to be satisfied. The 2003 Southwest Future Land Use Plan identified the subject property as suitable for either medium to high-density residential or commercial development. The requested zone change would create the opportunity for commercial development through the LC Limited Commercial Zoning District. Staff believes this proposal is in keeping with the adopted plans and the existing zoning of adjacent properties. To date, staff has received and responded to 1 inquiry about the project and has received no letters of opposition. The applicant, Nick Dietrich, is with us this afternoon and may wish to address the commission. Staff is recommending approval, and the suggested motion can be found in the staff report and on the screen. That concludes staff's presentation, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. Any questions for Adam? Seeing none, we'll invite Mr. Dietrich to the podium if he wishes. Introduce yourself for the record, please.
Sure. My name is Nick Dietrich with Dietrich Construction, and I appreciate all your attention. I guess from our point of view, owning that property, if you're familiar with it from a few years ago, it would have been hard to picture building anything there, but we've cleaned it up. And we've had a lot of interest from folks to do an office building or something similar to what we've built immediately south of this, which was the Dance Academy. So in consideration of the multifamily that's there and the limited industrial that's immediately east of this, we feel like limited commercial is a nice buffer between those 2 uses. And since we've had no interest from anybody to do a multifamily project there, as an investment property, we would like the city's backing to go limited commercial because we feel like we'll be able to finish up that area. So I'm certainly open to questions if you have any.
Thank you. I guess I had one question. We haven't gotten to see this much where somebody's actually going from multifamily to something else. It seems like usually we get the request the opposite way. So appreciate your explanation, and that made sense to me. So anybody else have a question for the applicant?
Just out of curiosity, what kind of a mess was there for you to clean up?
Well, before we owned it, the prior owner kind of used it as a borrow pit a little bit, and that land that the native land in that area was quite a bit lower than it is today. And so it was ugly. And so we dug out everything that was there and backfilled it in properly and tested it. So it's a buildable site now and it's flat and clean. And before it was full of garbage and reeds and ducks. And so we're trying to help you out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for the applicant? Seeing none, thank you. Anybody from the audience here to speak on this item, either for or against? Anybody else want to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Commissioners?
I'll make the motion to accept the findings and recommendations of staff.
Thanks, Commissioner Gunkelman. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Commissioner Stoffern. We have a motion and a second. Any comments on the motion? Seeing none, we'll take the roll.
Morgan,
Aye.
Tassa. Aye. Gunkelman,
Aye.
Holtz, Stoffren,
Aye.
Rosenberg,
Aye.
Schneider.
Aye, and the motion passes. Moving on to number 6, hearing on an application requesting a conditional use permit to allow industrial uses in the general commercial lot 9 of Goodman's Edition. And Adam, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Item 6 on the agenda is titled Goodman's Edition and is located at 3241 Main Avenue. The applicant, Jason Hearn, is with us today and is requesting a conditional use permit to allow industrial services in the GC General Commercial Zone. The existing building contains a former lawn care equipment showroom, as well as other warehouse and commercial uses. The applicant's business, Overloaded Laundry, is a commercial laundry service that processes scrubs and linens from several hospitals and nursing home facilities in the Fargo-Moorhead region. The proposed business does not operate as a retail sales and service use, nor does it involve customers delivering and retrieving laundry. Additionally, the facility will not contain or utilize coin-operated laundry machines. Therefore, this use is classified by the LDC as industrial service, for which a conditional use permit is required in the GC General Commercial Zone. Staff notes that the CUP relates to allowing certain uses. The CUP is not a building permit. The tenant will have to go through the change of use permit process with a building permit for tenant improvement with the inspections department prior to opening their business. These permits are administrative and so do not come before the Planning Commission. Additionally, as part of the building permit review process, the fire marshal will review all peroxides and chemicals used in the laundry operation. Planning staff has communicated this point with the tenant. Planning staff has developed standard conditions for industrial uses in the GC zone. Staff recommends these conditions, as stated on your screen, as part of this CUP. Additionally, all applicable sections of the LDC apply to industrial uses in the GC zone, and so do not need to be specified in the recommended conditions. Staff has reviewed the CUP application per section 20-0901F and has found that all 6 criteria have been satisfied. In accordance with that same section, written notices of the CUP were sent out to property owners within 300 feet of the subject property. To date, staff has received no inquiries or protests regarding the project or proposed use. The applicant, Jason Hearn, is with us this afternoon and may wish to address the commission. Staff is recommending approval, and the suggested motion, along with the conditions, can be found on the staff report and on the screen. That concludes staff's presentation, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thanks. Any comments for Adam? Questions? Seeing none, we'll invite the applicant to speak if they wish. Please introduce yourself for the record.
Well, afternoon, Commissioners. Jason Hearn, Overloaded Laundry. Just a quick overview of what I do. I know chemicals are a big question here. I use the same chemicals that the Radisson uses, Brandt Laundry, Brandt Hospitality, formerly Brennan's, Amerimark. That's what we use in our laundry facility as well. As I've sent all the MSDSs in. Currently, we're just out of room to expand and grow in Moorhead. We want to move to Fargo. I currently have 9 employees. Also, we hire 3 special needs folks that help us out folding. By moving over to Fargo into this new building, we should be able to double our business within 2.5 years. And again, I do not take in walk-in business. It's not you can't bring your dresses or clothes to me to wash. I do all commercial, drop cloths to hospital scrubs for Essentia, Eulin Nursing Home, Villa Maria Nursing Home. I do Lisbon Valley City Oaks and Breckenridge Hospitals. Also with this location, gives me emergency snow routes to get to the hospital on University, 32nd, and there'll be and Villa Maria, so I won't have any issue getting to the Cleveland and back to the facilities. That's all I have. Any questions for me?
Thanks. Welcome to our great city. Any questions for the applicant?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you do any dry cleaning, or is it only washing?
Only washing. I know there used to be a chemical in dry cleaning. It was very long, Perca something, I can't even pronounce it. But they've outlawed that pretty much in most states, and I don't use it. And I don't know if it's legal in North Dakota or not, but we don't use anything like that. Everything we use is water soluble.
All right, well, I'm just thinking about the several sites around Fargo Moorhead that are previous laundries and dry cleaning facilities that have never been redeveloped because of the contaminated soil.
Yeah, I know there was an issue with Brennan's, which is right across from the northern there. They had to use that dry cleaning perk, and they had to, before they sold it to Brandt Hospitality, they had to do something with the soil or something like that. But no, we don't use anything like that.
So you're not expecting any soil contamination?
No.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions? Sure, why don't we could do, ma'am, could you come to the podium and speak?
Sure.
Please introduce yourself as well.
Kristen McKercher, I'm Jason's business partner. Thank you for having us. I just wanted to clarify that we aren't intending on even expanding into dry cleaning. That's part of our expansion plan. So we're not doing any dry cleaning right now, and that is not in the foreseeable future, at least for the next 5 years, which is what our lease would be for. So at this location, no dry cleaning.
Thank you.
Yep.
Seeing no more questions, anybody from the audience wish to speak on this item in favor or against? Anybody else want to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Commissioners?
Chair, I will move to approve as presented by staff.
We have a motion for approval. Is there a second? We have a second. Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll take the roll.
Rosenberg,
Aye.
Gunkelman,
Aye.
Holtz,
Aye.
Morgan,
Aye.
Stoffren,
Aye.
Tassa,
Aye.
Schneider.
Aye, and the motion, it passes. Moving on to item number E1. There's no public hearing on this. It's Rules of Internal Procedure and Operations of the City Fargo Planning Commission. This is rules that we follow as a commission, and it's updated from time to time or reviewed from time to time. And with the new city hall, there's a need to change the address. And so I think they're looking for us motion and approval from this board to reaffirm the rules that are not changing, just clerical change in there. If you haven't read these rules, I guess I would encourage the commission to look at the rules. There are some interesting things in there. And I think we can address them at any time if anybody does have any issues in here. There's some that are set by state statute, but there's others, the time of the meeting. For instance, I think I've been around long enough to see 3 different times of this meeting, and we can always address that again. But if anybody has any issues, now's the time. Otherwise, there is a suggested motion.
Who's been picking up the mail at the old address? I move to approve.
Thanks, Commissioner Stoffren.
Second.
And we have a second. I think Donald is a man of many talents. I bet that's one of his. All right, any other comments on the rules? Seeing none, I guess, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion, or any against? Motion passes. And that is it for us today. Thank you, everybody.
Adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion to adjourn's on the table. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any against, same sign? All right, we're adjourned.